Right. Again, it's me again, your wealth financial entrepreneurship milestone John, and my name is Dr. Julius Oluwasegun Aroba. In this particular masterclass and more podcast, I'm going to be talking about life's hidden rooms. ROOM. Rooms is where destiny is formed, tested, and fulfilled. And over time and over the years, a lot of people have taken rooms to become something else. And the word terminology rooms can actually come from different investment, different area, different avenues. There's what I call the room of destiny. There's what I call the rooms to understand in terms of the ones that define purpose. And again, the word room can actually be a metaphoric and powerful tools that is behind every teachings. And this focuses on different aspects of life. And when we're talking about rooms is where life hidden opportunities are actually hidden. And in the room is where destiny is formed, tested, and fulfilled. The very first room that everybody come into, I don't know where you've been given birth into, maybe in the house, maybe in an hospital, or maybe in a location where I come or I term that place called maybe a labor room. Wherever it is. It might be in the bedroom, it might be in the car, it might be in the bars, it might be in the garage, it might be anywhere it is. That place is termed as labor room. And that is the first rooms that everybody comes into as a life dependent, as someone who is actually birthed. Because we all came from one woman or the other, it depends. But I can tell you, you were given birth to in a labor room. Everyone is born in the labor room, and what happens in labor room determines whether you will be born or you will die. Because there are a lot of people that are actually being given birth to in the labor room. At the end of the day, they lost their life. And so sorry for that, because I know it's not a good wish. Some people, they just passed on in the labor room. But thank God that you made it to this time, that you're even in this masterclass and this episode podcast, that you're able to make it to this room, which is a virtual room, that you are actually in the metaverse space, in the podcast. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube channel, or perhaps you're actually watching it on a virtual platform called TikTok, or maybe Instagram or Twitter. I don't know where it is, but either way, welcome to this. And I remain your master John, and my name is Dr. Julius Oluwasegun Aroba again. So now, either you're born as a child or you're born after a new mother or alone. You know, sometimes it's so sad that some mothers made it, some kids only made it. The mother passed on. Or perhaps the kids passed on and the mother made it in the labor room. Labor room is one of the most powerful rooms that decide whether you will live or you will coexist or you will pass on. And that labor room is what I call a foundation room, which is a room that helps you to be able to know how things are going to be. And that's where the nurses or the people who actually assisted helps you to be able to prepare you so that you can actually go over to the next room. Again, in labor room sometime, maybe at the age where you're born, or perhaps wherever you are, you're actually growing, it might be a room where you're actually learning, where you are getting trainings, where you're having failure, or you're actually making mistakes and you're getting the corrections on time. Or maybe it is a place where you're actually building yourself, your life, your character, your skills. You're actually getting more. And again, it might actually be a place where you're acquiring the skills that you need for your life. That is labor room. When we talk about this, there are key activities that actually happen in these stages, and these activities are maybe education or apprenticeship or mentorship or discipline or humility or consistency or obedience to processes. But either way, most of the thing is that you actually learn, you actually get something in that place. Now, when we talk about this, when we now move more further, the key question is, and I'm going to be asking you is, are you becoming before you appear? And I'm going to personalize that. I'm going to be saying, am I becoming or am I appearing in my life? When we talk about the second room, is what I call the room of destiny and delay. Because the room of destiny, everybody that have been born to this earth, maybe an entrepreneur, maybe black, purple, I don't know what race you are, what religion, it doesn't really matter. But what matters is we are all born to be able to be in a race or in a destiny so that we can become something more formidable tomorrow, to become a models, or we can be a mentor, or we can become a coach, or we can become wealth billionaire, millionaires, or whatever terminology you aspire to be able to become, something that's going to become more better for you in the future. Let's take a pause here. In the room of destiny, there's a lot of things that happen in that area. When you are in the room of destiny, there's what I call different types of seasons. And one of them is what I call a waiting season. Because waiting season in the room of destinies, a lot of things happen. That is the stage where I always term it as the stage of age, maybe 16 to 25 or to 24, depending on what continent or which country you're based. Because at that point, you want to be able to start making a lot of mistakes. You want to be able to have a lot of self-endurance. You want to be able to break things and be able to see how you can become more better in anything that you do in life. Now, in that room of destiny, that is where you want to be able to shape yourself to become something. And at the end of the day, maybe you are in a college or varsity. By the time you're done, maybe they said if you want to become a doctor, you studied medicine. If you want to become a lawyer, study law. If you want to become an accountancy, study accountancy. By the time you're done, you've actually gone through the curriculum of the university. And they call you an accountant and they give you a terminology and mnemonics to your names. And they might say, oh, say this, Mr. This, engineer this, doctor this, or professor this, or what this. At the end of the day, because you've been able to go through the endurance, you've been able to go through the test of patience, you've been able to go through the trials of life, you've been able to refine your motives so that you can become much more well-known in life. And this, you have what I call endurance, because you fail some tests, you pass some exams, you face some exams, you even get some trials that are not easy. You burn some candles, you even go for extra miles, you even deny yourself of some pleasures because you want to be able to become something more formidable. Now, when we've learned about some of these things, one thing that is important is that you want to be able to say no to distraction at that point. You want to be able to see how you can have self-control. You want to become more emotionally mature so that when people are talking to you, you are not able to speak rashly to them. You want to be able to approach them better. Maybe as an entrepreneur, you're operating a business. You want to be able to see how things can become more better. Now, as an entrepreneur or as a career person, as someone who is actually entering into the labor market, there's one thing I always tell people: always have self-control and know how to communicate. Because a lot of people do not know how to communicate in this day and age, because we call it a jet age or jet alpha or generation alpha or generation beta or generation gamma. Or perhaps we say Gen Z or what. Well, irrespective of generation you are born into, you've got to learn how to be able to communicate, how to have the right formidable relationship with people so that you can become more better in the things that you do in life. But the truth is, delay is never denial. It is calibrations. Because the question here I'm going to be asking you, can you be trusted when nothing is happening in that room of destiny? I leave that with you. Number 3, types of room, is what I call the room of decisions. In this room of decision, this is where life definitions and choices actually happen. And this is where direction and settings are actually being put to people. And this is where separation from wrongs, people, from wrong association, from where you live, from people you kind of mix yourself with, actually defines you, or define who you become or what you become to your economy or to your community or to your family. May we not be ashamed so that we can't be a wrong example to our families. Now, in this area, in the rooms of what I call the room of decision, what happens here, what are the key activities that happen in this area is where you want to be choosing values so that you can be somebody of greater value, not somebody that is of hidden value that does not add life to people. At the end of the day, because if you don't add value to people's life, people will never value you because you own nothing and you cannot add nothing. But if you are somebody that when you are within the environment, people want to be able to see you, to say, hey, come on, man, this guy has got stuffs, this lady has got stuffs. They want to be able to associate with you because you are building, you have good character, you've been able to learn, you've been able to put things in place so that life can become more better for you. Number 2 is that they will even choose your career or relationship decisions. And this is why I tell people, always make sure you know what your commitment about purpose is about. Now, let's take a pause here. The truth is that destiny changes more by decisions than prayers. A lot of people pray, but at the end of the day, they still remain where they are. Muslim, Christian, Jews, Hindu, or what. Everybody breathes one prayer or the other. Maybe an atheist communicating with natural natures or what. But at the end of the day, the question I'm going to be leaving you with is, what are you willing to lose to become who you must be? Are you operating a business? Are you operating a career? Are you looking at becoming somebody of greater value? Are you looking at becoming somebody that can be of great existence to people? Number 4 room is what I call the room of relationship. And the room of relationship is what I also term as the room of boardrooms or boardrooms. Because in boardrooms where you're not present, people can actually discuss for you in the boardroom. Most people today, they don't have relationship with a lot of people, and before you know it, they lose the value because nobody can actually talk about them in the boardroom where decisions are made because they don't have good relationship. Now, your workplace, do you have good relationship from the low staff to the highest place? Are you somebody that when you are not present, people can say positive things about you? Because if you are not known, nobody can actually make more decisions, can say something positive about you in the boardroom. Now, you don't want to be able to build your life on a place, on a metamorphoric incidents that happens in life that you're not able to get things better. Now, when decisions are made in boardrooms, you must have a voice there. When you want to have a voice there, you've got to know how to be able to build a long-term relationship with people. And again, if you remember from creation of the world, there's a lot of things that have actually been mentioned. When God was saying, come, let's make, come, let's create, let there be. He's talking in the boardroom because he asked some people he was consulting with. He said, let there be day, let there be night, let there be days. Now, when he's mentioning all these things, you'll be able to see that life is very important, that a lot of people are faffing their life around. When you see them today, a lot of youths, their life is just languished because they never have people, they don't have characters, they don't have the right relationship, the right network with people, and they faff around with their life. And this is why it's very important that you must be somebody of value. Now, the question I'm going to be leaving you with is that what is allowed to have access into your life? Who do you allow to have access into your life? Or are you somebody that doesn't matter? Are you somebody that people don't care about? When you're passing, people say, just leave her. That is the end of life. She's going to be dying in about a few days, in about a few hours. But friends, zillionaires, entrepreneurs, one thing I want to tell you is that it's very important for you to take this to become more serious than your life so that life can become more better for you. The last room I'm going to talk about today is the room of opportunity. The room of opportunity is where doors are open. It's where visibility increases. It is where access to platforms, resources, influences also increase. And some of the key activities that happen in this place is what I call courage, execution, risk-taking, and showing competence. The truth about this is that opportunity reward readiness, not desires. But what I'm going to leave you with today is, are you prepared enough to be mentioned, to take a step forward, to become more better? Or you're not? As an entrepreneur, as a career person, as somebody who wants to make, mark, and leave a good legacy in this world and age, what room will you be able to go for? And I hope you'll be able to learn something more better and become someone of great value. And don't be someone that's not going to be of great value and of great embodiment of greatness. In you, in your heart, what is going to take a spider to be able to spin the web is inside the spider. Maybe you've downcasted yourself that you don't belong to any room. There are a lot of rooms that you can still enter. You can actually still change. You can still be able to get. There is a book called The Art of Networking, The Art of Digging Well. I will refer you to be able to open that book. That book is one of those books that actually opened my mind to some of those. I think it's by Michael Coleman that actually wrote that book. But friends, the thing is, what room are you in? Will you be able to make mention? Will they say something positive about you in that room? So friends, share this video, share this like, and let's be able to see, to build the community. And I will implore you to join the RSEG Links Zillionaires community because we can't wait to hold your hand because we rise by lifting each other. And on this note, I'll tell you, there's a book that we've written called The Wealth Code and Wealth Beyond a Lifetime. You can go to www.juliusaroba.com/hop.html www.juliusaroba.com/shop.html. You get the books there, and I can't wait to see you again, to have you in the community. And I say, stay blessed and have a pleasant week and a pleasant day, and I'll see you again in our next masterclass. And stay blessed. God bless.